Ibadan residents protest high cost of living. 7 killed as bandits attack police headquarters in Zamfara. Lagosians groan over spike in prices of perishable goods. And on the foreign scene, Israel sets Ramadan deadline for assault on Rafah. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thank you for joining us on all the details. We'll start with a spike in cost of living. Now, protests broke out in Oyo State, southwest Nigeria on Monday over high cost of living, food inflation, and the current economic hardship in the country. Staged in the Mokola area of Ibadan, the state capital, placard carrying youths in their drones chanted songs to drive home their point. Armed policemen were said to be at the scene of the protest as demonstrators held the peaceful rally. Economic hardship in the land is caused by the removal of petroleum subsidy and the unification of the foreign exchange windows. The police had on Sunday warned that no breach of peace would be allowed during any protest in the state. The protests in Oyo followed others in Kano, Minna, among other states. A wave of frustration and hardship is sweeping across Nigeria. The economic difficulties caused by the ongoing government reforms is affecting the purchasing power of average Nigerians on a daily basis. For those dealing in food items, especially the perishable goods, the situation is even worse. Victoria Tokolo sent in this report as presented from our studio.
In the southwest of Nigeria, just like every other part of the country, food crisis is hitting every household's kitchen. The price of tomatoes, a staple in Nigerian cuisine, has skyrocketed to 45,000 naira per basket, while peppers have seen an unprecedented rise to 90,000 naira per bag in Lagos State. This surge has left citizens and residents of the state frustrated, with many cutting down on their daily food expenditures. The rising cost of these essential foods has not only brought discontent amongst the populace, but has also sparked a wave of serious lamentations. The affordability and accessibility of basic food items are now in jeopardy, affecting the daily lives of millions. The strain on both sellers and buyers is clear.
Tomato basket 50,000. Pepper small bag 40,000. Pepper of bag is 150. 100,000. Pepper now. This one is 500 naira. This one. Me now. So I don't sell tomato. I get children 7. My husband don't know it again. How many I want to cook with the 500 naira. This is too much. Pepper 500 naira. How many?
6,000, 4,000, 5,500, 3,000. Before. Now it's 22. Today, this pepper, bag of pepper. Bag of pepper is 90,000. 90,000 of this pepper. Of this one, chombo. Bag of chombo, 45,000. Not be big, yo. You know big, yo.
Now is 45,000. Small one is 25,000. And before maybe like that. Before 10,000, 7,000. Bag of pepper 75,000. Small one 36,000.
The escalating prices of food items without corresponding increase in income and wages is worrisome among these Nigerians.
Before we were buying my basket of tomatoes 20,000. Now his bags of tomatoes is 60,000 naira. Bag of pepper now is 40,000.
The price of tomatoes now and then is too high now. Like now, for instance, I bought tomatoes about 2,500 naira to make a stew, a pot of soup. But before, we can use 500 naira, 700 naira to prepare a pot of soup. But now it's too high. Even it's ×3 of what we are buying before.
The inability of the government to act swiftly is fueling a widespread dissatisfaction and frustration among Nigerians, leading to pockets of protests and social unrest.
As food prices continue to soar, youths in border town of Borno, Adamawa and Yobe states in northeastern part of Nigeria are now migrating to neighboring Chad, Cameroon and Niger Republic to deal with the economic or current woes affecting the economy. According to Trust TV's Olatunji Omirin, those migrating their labor and business to the neighboring countries blame the spiraling cost of living in Nigeria and the fall of the naira against the CFA franc for the risky journeys. The report.
Recently, prices of goods like cement, rice, spaghetti, sugar, beans, and other grocery has enormously increased in these border states than anywhere in the country. The purchase power of the people in Bay State has been weakened due to 13 years of prolonged Boko Haram insurgency, which many describe as double tragedy on an already overstretched people. They explain that the decisions of traders to move to neighboring countries to sell goods for safer and come back to buy food items and building material has put pressure on naira.
We usually buy 1 liter of petroleum product at the cost of 700 naira. So, and it will take us about 70 to 80 liters before reaching our destination. So you see, this has adversely affected, has contributed to the skyrocketing inflation of the product we are carrying. Okay, they referred Nigerian naira as worthless because if they come with 2,000 sefa, it's equivalent to 22,000 naira. So they will come with their sefa and change it to Nigerian naira and buy a lot of goods and go back to their country because of the dwindling value of the Nigerian naira.
They describe the removal of subsidy and an high cost of vehicle spare parts, which have compounded transportation costs in and outside the state.
I'm traveling to Chad. From Meduguri to Gamborungala is 7,000 naira. So from Chad and from Gamboru to N'Djamena, the Chadian capital, is 32,000 naira. But before we used to pay 3,000, 4,000 or 5,000 for a distance that is not more than 100 kilometers.
The network of civil society of Lake Chad region and Chamber of Commerce lamented that masses have been made to bear the brunt of nation's economic policies and charged the federal government to cushion the effect of current hardship faced by the citizen.
You know, when we are mostly dependent on what we can get from outside the country, definitely our currency will always be devalued. And secondly, people are now hard currency dependent. People who have the naira will always like to change it to dollars and keep them even away.
The role of the subsidy is really beyond explanation here, because if you go out to the street, you can see people engaging in negative coping mechanisms. You can see family with dignity begging in the street. You can see a parent sending out their younger girls for prostitution just to survive. And you can see young girls and boys coming out to commit crime just for them to survive.
According to them, effort must be made to ensure the security of lives and properties as well as the revival of agriculture in order to arrest inflations and mass exodus of Nigerians to neighboring Nigeria. Olatunji Omirin, Trust TV, Maiduguri.
The NATO says it has directed all its members to withdraw their petroleum trucks from product loading activities from Monday, February 19, 2024. In a later dated February 15, 2024, addressed to the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, NATO said it can no longer continue with operations due to the state of the economy. The development follows the association's request for oil marketers to review freight rates. NATO had said despite the deregulation of the downstream sector, oil marketers have refused its request to review the rates. Insecurity. Armed bandits have attacked the divisional headquarters of the Nigerian police force in Zurmi town, the headquarters of the Zurmi local government area of Zamfara state. The bandits were said to have invaded the town on Sunday evening, killing 7 persons, including a police officer. An indigene of the town, Babangida Zurmi, said that he was yet to speak with any of his relatives as of 9:45 p.m. because most of their numbers were switched off. Another resident said the bandits attacked the town with a mission to revenge the killing of 2 persons by local vigilante in the area. He said several shops were burnt and the divisional headquarters of the police in Zurmi was also razed. Another bandit group operating in Maradun local government area also killed 4 persons and abducted several others. Over 30 houses and scores of cattle have been reportedly burnt by bandits during attack in Alawa community, Shiroro local government area of Niger State. Alawa is said to be one of the major agrarian communities with over 2,000 residents in Lakma axis of Shiroro local government area. The chairman, Alawa Youth Connect, Yusuf Musa, said the attackers invaded the community at about 8 p.m. on Sunday and kidnapped unspecified numbers of people. He said about 100 cattle, 35 motorcycles, and 150 bags of assorted grains belonging to residents and 30 houses were burnt down during the attack. Residents said that they cannot move from 1 kilometer from the community without coming in contact with the terrorists for years, saying that terrorists have permanent camps in Alawa forest. Niger State government and the State Police Command are yet to make a statement on the attack. Away from security, the student loans program is set to take off as the special committee responsible for the Nigerian Education Loan Fund held its inaugural meeting in preparation for the rollout of the program next week, Monday, February 26th. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Yemi Cardoso, is the chairman of the 11-member special committee with representative of the ministries, departments and agencies as stipulated in the Students' Loan Act, while the executive secretary of NELFund, Akintunde Sawyer, serves as its secretary. Cardoso urged members of the committee to use their diverse experiences to ensure the success of the program. He said the program is one of President Bola Tinubu's administration's important projects designed for the benefit of less privileged Nigerians. The special committee chairman added that the ongoing engagement of various stakeholders would be intensified in order to achieve a hitch-free commencement of the scheme. The Nigerian Education Loan Fund, the NELFund, was set up after the passage of the Access to Higher Education Act 2023 Student Loan Act was signed into the law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in June. Nigerians in New York have again appealed to the federal government to provide passport production printers to the Nigerian consulate to enhance smooth passport services in the U.S. The concerned Nigerians made the call at a virtual 12 town hall meeting hosted by the consulate for the Nigerian community under its jurisdiction. According to them, New York Consulate has the highest number of states and accepts the most significant number of applicants across the United States. During the question and answer segment of the meeting, the Nigerians wondered why the federal government would have only one passport production center in the U.S., which is in Washington, D.C. The New York jurisdiction comprises the 20 states of Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, amongst others. Nigeria has 3 missions in the United States, namely the Consulate General of the Nigeria in New York and Atlanta and the Embassy of Nigeria in Washington, D.C. You're watching Trust News Update. Coming up, Kano Carrot producing community appeals for bridge and access road. This and more after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is Trust News Update. Here's a recap of our top stories. Ibadan resident protest high cost of living. And 7 killed as bandits attack police headquarters in Zamfara. Moving on to more stories, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has predicted haziness and cloudiness across the country from Monday to Wednesday. It warned people with respiratory issues, among others, to be cautious of the weather and wear face masks. According to NIMET Outlook release on Sunday in Abuja, moderate dust haze with a horizontal visibility range of 2 km to 5 km is expected over the northern and north-central regions on Tuesday, with the expectation of Kwara, Benue and Kogi patches of clouds in a hazy atmosphere are anticipated. NIMET envisage patches of clouds over the inland of the south and the coast in the morning, with prospects of isolated thunderstorms. Residents of Daba community in Dawakin Kudu local government area of Kano State have appealed to the state and local government to construct a bridge that will connect the area with other communities in the locality. A river passing through the village has cut off the community from their neighbors, subjecting residents to untold hardship as they go about their daily movement. Salim Ibrahim visited the carrot farming community recently and files in this report.
A passing river covering a large landmass through the road that links the village with its neighbors has cut off activities, subjecting the residents to untold hardship as they go about their daily movement. The people of Daba are largely farmers, producing perishable food items and grains, but the main farming item is carrot, which is produced in a very large quantity. The lack of a good access road remains a major concern for the people of the area. They are not smiling as they keep hope alive, praying that one day their suffering will come to pass. Speaking of the situation, a farmer and resident of Daba, Manya Dang Ali, said they faced a series of problems, more especially when they harvest their farm products and want to take it to the market. We face a lot of problems when we harvest carrots or onions and we want to take them out to the market. We have to go through Bunkuri, Goma and other communities before we arrive at Zaria Road through Rano local government area. If you come back through this side from Baradei, Yadia, Kumuria and Garanga, before you take out your goods, you travel about 50 kilometers. Secondly, the roads alone are not good. Most of the times, with the drivers transporting the goods will have to come to us, collect or buy sacks, fill them with sand to go and patch the roads. If not, they cannot pass through when they load goods. Also speaking, Sarkin Ruwa Dabar Kwari, in charge of the canoe business, lamented over the poor condition of the canoes and the challenges associated with the business of conveying passengers to and from Daba and across. Talking about the river, it connects so many communities that everyone will have to pass through. And when there are not enough canoes, that's another trouble. Even as the canoe owners are also doing business, it is not easy at all. The worst part of it is when you are about to transport a pregnant woman to the hospital or any other form of emergency. It threatens lives. We have witnessed loss of lives and women giving birth on the road. He explained that the problem persists, especially during the rainy season, as crossing the river becomes a big challenge, posing threat to livelihoods, properties, as well as halting economic development in the area. Aside from the challenges and trouble of crossing the river, the situation has given birth to a new business opportunity for commercial motorcycle riders who camp a few meters away from the river to convey passengers to the neighboring communities. However, they said, despite it being their source of income, they don't enjoy the situation as it affects them all, including families and relatives. Salim Umar Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
Customs officials on Sunday blocked trucks loaded with grains at Sharigale village of Dutse local government area from gaining access to Mai Adua International Market in Katsina State. According to traders, their 4 trucks usually convey maize and guinea corn from Ndume Grains Market on weekly basis for decades without any hindrance from security operatives. It was, however, alleged that the customs officials had suspected that the traders were transporting the commodities to market in the neighboring Niger Republic. Traders in a chat with Trust TV News denied the allegation, insisting that their destination was Mai Adua Market in Katsina State. With the intervention of the divisional police officer in Dutse local government, both the traders and the custom officials agreed to convey the grains to the local government headquarters few kilometers away from Sharigale village.
Ana cikin yunwa abincin mu za a hita da shi muna cikin yunwa ana kasa babu abinci ga abinci na moto.
From the foreign scene, Israel has threatened to invade Gaza's Rafah by the start of Ramadan if Hamas does not return the remaining hostages. With prospect for truce talk dimmed, the United States and other governments, as well as the United Nations, have issued increasingly urgent appeals to Israel to call off its planned offensive on Rafah. The Israeli government says the city on the Egypt border is the last remaining stronghold in Gaza of the Palestinian militant group Hamas. Ramadan, the Muslim holy month, is expected to begin on March 10th. "53 persons have been confirmed dead in Papua New Guinea's remote highlands as tribal conflicts escalate into violence between local warring tribes. Police said the incident occurred near the town of Wabag, about 600 kilometers, that's 370 miles northwest of the capital, Port Moresby. The victims were believed to be tribal fighters who were ambushed by a rival group in the early hours of Sunday. The rugged and lawless area has for years been the scene of tit-for-tat mass killing between rival Sikin, Amberlin, Kaikin and other tribesmen. And finally, in sport, Super Eagles coach to the AFCON 2023, Jose Peseiro, has stated that he will take his time to have a desired rest before he will make any statements on the several jobs that he has been linked with. The Portuguese gaffer, whose deal ended with Nigeria after the 2023 African Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire, has been one of the most sought-after coaches in the continent, with a reported interest already from the Algerian Football Federation to replace sacked Jamil Belmadi. The Algeria Football Federation ended their association with Belmadi, who led them to AFCON glory in 2019, but failed to go beyond the first round of the competition for the second consecutive time. The Algerian FA have put a ceiling of $100,000 monthly as salary for new coach. And with that, we wrap up Trust News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our social media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news programs and documentaries. I am Sumaya Abubakar. Thanks for watching.